Hello guys. I hope everyone has had a wonderful week. Um, Today we're just gonna be talking about time frame confluence, right? Now, I know a lot of people have been going through videos on YouTube saying time frame confluence, and maybe you just thought that you didn't get the full information, right? So now I am just gonna try to break it down as simple as I can for everyone to understand, right? Now we all know the meaning of confluence, which is let me just write this down here, which is an act, right, or process of merging, right? Of merging. Now, now this is just a simple process of merging timeframes, right? Now, how are we going to combine or merge these timeframes? Now, we have learned market structure and how to identify market structure in the previous videos. If you haven't watched those videos, you can go through the videos that I have uploaded. You will see identifying structure. And I will also put a link in the description box for you guys to go and watch that video, right? Now, what we can understand is that the market moves in these ways. It's either the market is making higher lows, lower lows and lower highs as it moves to the downside. The market is making equal highs and equals lows as it moves, right? Which is a ranging market. Or the market is actually making higher highs and higher lows, right? Now, the very same concept is the same for all time frames. For every time frame, for each and every time frame, you will find market structure, and it's just up to you to read that, right? Now, let me give you an example of a downtrend, right? When the market is moving to the downside, making lower lows and lower highs as it moves like this, we get the market making lower highs here, right? And lower lows here, right? Also, a lower low here will be formed, a lower low here will be formed, right? And a lower high here will be formed, and another lower high here, right? Now, putting all this into mind, we're just gonna be doing this. We will identify whatever that we have done here as, maybe, let me say, the daily time frame, right? Which this will be the daily time frame, right? And what we want to do is reading the market structure off of the daily time frame. We know that these are long-term moves that are going to be made on the daily time frame, so you probably wouldn't like to trade that, right? Now, moving down to lower time frames, let me just change to a different color here. Now, let's say the market has broken previous lower low. I'm sorry about that. Now, as the market is moving to the downside, you will get another structure in this area here, right? You will get another structure in that area there. Now, on the structure, this will be your lower time frame. Let's say maybe the 4-hour time frame, right? Now, on that 4-hour, you will be also getting the structure that is happening there, waiting for market to break structure and continue moving back into this area here, right? Now, the best thing for you to do is to identify in which direction you are trading, right? Let's clear this out here. I want to write this properly, right? Now, if you're having the market making higher, lower lows and lower highs as it moves to the downside, right? Okay, this was not supposed to be there. So let me move this. Okay. You're having the market making, okay, here. you're making lower lows and lower highs, right? Oh, let me draw the last ones so that I can explain this, right? Now, when the market is moving to the downside, right, you're getting these areas off of the market here. Let me do them in blue so that we can see these areas, right? Sorry, you're getting these areas in the market as your support and resistance areas, right? These areas here, you're getting them off of the daily time frame. Remember that this here is our daily time frame, right? Or any other time frame. It can be the weekly time frame, it can be the daily time frame. This could actually also be your 4-hour time frame or your 1-hour time frame, depending on which kind of a trader are you, right? Now, getting this information here, you now know that the market on the daily time frame, is pushing to the downside, right? Now, the best times for you to trade is to wait for market to push back into a level of structure, any place here. Let me do this in black here. You're waiting for the market to push back into a level of structure, right? In order for you to give yourself that confidence in the market that market has pushed back into a level of structure on a higher time frame. Now, on a lower time frame, what you're going to be looking for is I'm going to do this in let's use this blue color here, right? Now, what's happening on the blue color here, it's probably an uptrend, right? And that will be a lower time frame from the time frame that you are using for direction. Now, if I'm using the daily time frame to identify my directional bias, to identify my highs and lows, my major highs and lows, then on the lower time frame, I'll probably be seeing something like this, right? I'll probably be seeing something like this. Right? I'll probably be seeing something like this here. Now, the same thing applies for this market here. We will be having our support and resistance here. We will be having our support and resistance areas here, our support and resistance areas here and here, right? Now, which time frame is this? Now, this time frame here is the 4-hour time frame, right? The 4-hour time frame. Now, you can see that these time frames are telling you different things, right? Now, this major one here is telling you that the market is moving to the downside, right? But this lower one here is telling you that the market is moving to the upside, which means the market is in an uptrend, making higher highs and higher lows, right? Now, time frame confluence comes in when you identify level of structure in a higher time frame, right? Using the lower time frame here, using the lower time frames here to show you confluence as the market is moving into your level of interest on a higher time frame. Now, what are you going to be looking for here? Now, if you are a person who likes to trade, let's say you like to trade reversal patterns and you have your entry reasons on your reversal patterns. Now, this area here will be your area where you are looking for those reversal patterns, right? And the best thing to wait for is to wait for the market to break structure, right? And to actually give you that confidence to enter the market. Now, you are here, let's see, this here is a daily time frame, is a daily time frame level that you have been waiting for your market to reach, right? And then now you are having this break of structure or change in structure on the lower time frames, right? Now, this will actually give you guys a chance to build your strategies better and all that. I'm also going to be making a video on the breakout retest strategy. Now, this is basically the most simplest strategy, but it is very powerful when used correctly, right? Now, when you see the market break structure and you're using your entry reasons here to enter the market, whether you're entering here or you're entering at the break of previous levels here to push your market to the downside, right? Now, for your entry reasons, you're going to need a third time frame. Now, this is actually where you want to be using those candlesticks, those rejections, checking whether the market is actually rejecting this level or not, right? Now, this can be the 1 hour time frame, the 15 minutes time frame, where you actually see how price is rejecting of that market, right? Because the market can actually push up into a level, into a previous lower high here, because this level here, it's also still valid for the market to come and actually retest that level before pushing to the downside, right? Because this level here is your break of structure level. This is the point where if the market chooses to push to the upside, comes back to this level, you know that the market will be potentially pushing to the upside because we have changed structure. Now, meaning that means that we had our lower low high here, our lower low here, right? Now the market has broken structure above a previous lower high, right? Now that means that here we should be getting a higher low, right? Now, with all this that we have talked about, the most crucial one will actually be your entry strategies, right? How you're going to enter the market. And this will actually be very beneficial for you guys to go and check out that candlestick guide, right? That is very helpful. Also on higher time frames, you can use that to identify your strength in the market on the daily time frame and see where the market is pushing, maybe on a daily basis, on a daily bias, on a 4-hour bias, and all of that. Now, I will be moving to the chart, to the Forex chart, to show you guys what I'm talking about here on the day on the chart, right? Now, let's move to the Forex chart and actually identify what we have been talking about here, right? Okay. Now, what you are seeing here is the daily time frame of the USD CAD, right? Now, from just looking at this, we can clearly identify here that the market is actually in a downtrend, right? Now we can see that the directional bias of the market is to the downtrend, right? I'm not going to use the replay mode right now. I'm just going to go through this with you guys and just see how the market reacted out of certain levels on the lower time frames, right? Now the directional bias here is to the downside, where we are seeing lower highs here being formed, lower highs here being formed, lower highs here being formed, right? And lower highs here being formed, with the market pushing to the downside, making lower lows, lower lows, lower lows, and a lower low, right? Now, when you're identifying this, you already know that when you go to the lower time frame, let's say you are looking at this price movement to the upside here, you know that the market is actually just correcting itself in order to push to the downside, right? Because one thing to never forget is that the market moves in two phases. We have the impulsive moves, right? We have the correction move in the opposite direction of the trend, right? And then we have a continuing impulse move, right? Let's remove all this, right? And I'll just highlight off the levels in the market that have been made. We had a lower low here, right? And I just want you guys to look at what happened here, right? Let me put this here. It's here. Right. We had a lower low here. This is not doing what I want, but it's not a problem. Oh, sorry about that. Okay. Now it's fine. We had a higher low here, right? And a lower low here, right? We had price play around this level. Let's make this black in order to be visible, right? And then we had the market push to the downside, creating a lower low here at this area here, right? Came back into our level of structure and then just continued pushing to the downside, right? Now, even when the market comes in for another retest on your structural level, you know that the market will eventually continue to the downside because your structure hasn't been broken here, right? I'm gonna use the replay mode right now in order for us to see what I'm talking about here, right? I know that we have seen the price here, and some of you will say that just because I've seen the price here, and then it's easy for me to do that, right? Let us just move the price to where? Let us move the price to here, right? As I was explaining that off of that previous level here. Now, the only thing that you should do, guys, is to always filter out the noise, find out where you are in the market, because that is what is most important. Find out where you are in the market, what kind of direction or what kind of trend is the market in, right? Now, you can clearly see that once we broke this low here, the market has been continuing to the downside. The market has been continuing to the downside, even on these areas here, right? Even on those areas there. Now, what we want to identify is that the market had a lower high here, lower than this one here, right? The market had a lower low here, right? And the market had a lower low here at this area here. Now let's move this chart to that area there and see what we can identify here, right? Now, the first thing that we can see is that this lower low area here has been formed and has not been completely broken yet, right? We have this resistance area here. That what do we want to see off of that resistance, right? We want to price push into this area here, show us signs that the market is pushing to the downside, and we want to see the market push to the downside, right? Now, let me move this to an area where the price has actually moved into our area of interest here, right? You can see that the market had actually had a breakout here, but since we know that we are still in a downtrend, we would like to see price completely break this price out, right? For us to take those nice sells, with the market, right? Now we can see that the market has created another resistance level here, but the level that we are confident in is for the market to come to this area here or completely break this price to the from the downside, retest it, and continue to the downside, right? Let me replay this again in order for us to see what's happening here. Now we can see price broke that resistance area here and has actually came into our level of interest here. Now, once you see price react like this off of your level, it is pretty much a good time for you to move to your lower time frames, right? Now, for this one, I'm just going to move down to the 4-hour time frame. And what we want to do is just to identify how the market is reacting out of this levels, right? Now, we can clearly see that the market is making higher highs and higher lows here, right? This is what we can see out of the market, right? Now, someone might say that, okay, now that the price has actually came into this level here, we can see price push up into this area here, right? Now, the one thing that you shouldn't forget is that whenever a market makes a high, you should mark that high out, right? Now, this has potential to actually have enough strength to resist being broken or actually being broken, right? But we will see how price is reacting out of that level. Now you can see there that price has actually touched that level, pushed to the downside, came back into a level of the newly supported, the newly created resistance area here. Let me just move this here, right? This is our new support area here. But we know that for us, the market, in order for it to continue going to the outside, it must break a level of structure, right? Now, someone might say that, why are you highlighting this area out? Now, we haven't seen the market break this level completely because price could actually just come into this area, come back into this resistance area here, and then continue pushing to the downside. Now, this is where the candlestick guide comes in for you guys to actually look at that video and try to understand what I'm talking about when I talk about candles. Now, when you see a break like this, either on the 4-hour time frame, and you have identified your resistance level, and you're actually identifying this as your double top, this is actually a pretty good time for you to move down to your 1-hour time frame. Now, this is your entry time frame, right? Now, what we want to see is we want to see the market. This is our high here. We want to see the market create a new lower low, come up here to create for us a new lower high in order for it to continue to the downside, showing us early signs that the market is actually pushing to the downside, right? Let me clear this out and just focus on what's happening on the current trend so that we don't get lost in all of the noise, right? Now we have the market making an uptrend from the 4-hour time frame here, right? From the 4-hour time frame here. And you have actually seen early signs of a double top here being formed, right? And now our area of interest is for the market to completely break that level, get a new low high being formed around this area here for the market to continue moving to the downside, right? Now let me just leave it there. And what I want to do is to actually replay this a bit so that we see how the market is reacting, right? And one thing else that we have to know is that we know that this level here is our lower low from the 4-hour time frame. So for us to see price start moving completely to the downside, we want to see this level here being broken, right? Now let's replay these. Why am I doing these symbols here? Sorry about that, right? Let's replay this and see how it's going. I hope that this is very clear, that everyone can see this, right? Now, look at that. We had price move into a level of area, right? Impulsively, we got some rejection candle there, some depletion candle here. So what are we waiting for? We're waiting for signs for us to enter. Now, this might not be your entry reasons at all, right? And you might say that, oh, this is actually an late entry and all that, but it's a very, very good idea to not be the first one in a trade, right? Now look at that nice candle there. We got some very nice impulse, a momentum candle here. So this is where we can say, let us enter our trade, put this above this level here. And what we actually want to be aware of is, let's just go for 1:3 risk reward ratio. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Now off of this, we can see that, let me get my pen here, brush here. Okay. Now this level here will be our level of interest, right? Because this market is holding because of this level here. This is our recent higher low, right? This thing is not performing today. I don't know what's going on, but I just hope that, okay. Let me just put this here because this is not working out fine. Okay, we have our recent higher low here, right? Now for us to see the market completely being bearish from this point on, we want to see this price being broken, right? And the market will show us signs of pushing to the upside. So I'm going to run this and see how we perform here. Remember that we have an area here which the market could come and retest also, right? Now let us replay this and see how it goes. Right, almost got stopped out there. Now see price has moved back into our level. Now for me, when the price starts reacting like this, I know that there are very high chances of price coming back into my level of resistance, right? Now we just got stopped out there, right? Now this means that this was not a complete break from the 4-hour time frame, right? Which we had predicted from the 1-hour time frame to be our entry reason. So let's check the 4-hour time frame and see what happened. Now we can see this huge rejection here, right? And prices actually started to move back into our resistance area there, right? Now we see price is actually reaching our resistance area there. right? And now we can actually predict that the market could break that level here. Now, remember that right now, this level here is our recent lower high. Let me just move this here. This one here, right? When the market completely breaks that level, we want to see price continue moving to the downside, right? Okay, now I don't know if this is a very good entry here. I'm not feeling good about it. Or let's just leave this here. We lost this trade here, right? We lost this trade here, and then try taking a trade here, right? This is not actually a good trade. I'm not feeling good about it because we still haven't broken out of this level completely, right? We still haven't broken out of that level completely here, right? Stop loss above the area here. Let's go for 1:3 risk reward ratio. Okay, let's see how this goes. We're still getting the same reaction from the previous one here, right? Let us just see how price is reacting from this point on. It is very, very important to always wait for the market to give you a true break of structure, right? In order for you guys to see the market completely continue pushing to the downside. Now that is a complete break of structure. I'm guessing now we can just see price continue moving to the downside into our area here. This is a very good break of structure here, right? Here, waiting for the market here, putting the stop loss above this, and our 1:3 risk reward ratio. Now let's see how this one performs and see if we could actually get this one here. Now, we'll make a perfect video, a good video for the breakout retest strategy, right? In order for you guys to watch that and learn from that. Oh, we're actually getting good results from this one here. We can see price has played up on that level, broken that level, and now we could actually wait for the market to show us a continuation move to the downside, right? We can see price is moving and moving and moving and moving and moving. I will just update that that entry we had there until we can see price move to the downside, right? Let me move to the 4-hour time frame in order to accelerate this, because I think by now you guys get the basic concept I'm trying to illustrate here on time frame confluences, right? Yes, yeah. Now we can see that price has moved into the downside and we actually hit the profit here, right? We've actually hit our take profit somewhere here, right? Now, this is time frame confluences where you use your higher time frames for direction, where you use the lower time frame from your directional time frame to actually identify structure, right? And use the lowest entry that you need for your entry reasons, right? I will make the video on the breakout retest video, breakout retest strategy for you guys to actually backtest and use on your trades. For now, let me just leave this here, and we'll actually do a video where we actually do backtest the strategy, look for true breaks in the market structure in order for us to take trades. If you are new here and you haven't subscribed, you can click that subscribe button. If you liked the content that I brought here, you can hit that like button there, and your support is actually appreciated. It's highly appreciated. Thank you. And I hope that you got of the information that you needed from this video.